Okay, guys, welcome to lesson 4. Let's free my guitar from its background. Okay, so let's separate my guitar. Oh, what am I doing? um, so here we have my guitar, and we're gonna separate this the best way, in my opinion, the most detailed way, which is an investment in it, So we're going to take our time, do it well, and when you do it well, it's going to look awesome later on. And because a guitar is it's a pretty straightforward shape, this nice curve, so I believe in the pen tool. And let's get familiar with it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is draw around it and then use that information to separate it. And this is also a great exercise for you to get comfortable with the pen tool in Affinity Photo. So I'm going to start off right here. And because this is a great shape for the pen tool, I'm going to click, drag. And bear with me and just do it together with me. So I strategically choose curves that go very naturally. So we always click, and then with my click held in, I can stretch it out. So I've gotten really good at estimating this well because I've done this a lot in my life. But just try and copy me. And what you want is to be more within the object and outside of the object. That's pretty important for when we separate it using a marquee tool, selection tool, whatever. So don't go too deep, because as in too zoomed in, because it's good to have, I've sometimes made mistakes by going too close and start selecting things that aren't even part of the image. But anyway, here we go. Now here comes a problem area. We're gonna intensify the points. So again, it's always clicking and dragging. And here's another thing. If I see that I make a mistake, I can use the arrow tools on my keyboard and adjust it, and it will move every pixel, which is awesome, and I retain the curvature. So again, everything I'm doing right now is I click a point and I drag and I use those vector handles to draw. And what's important is that these handles have to coincide with the image a little bit. You see, there's a technique to it. So please, when you're doing this with me, be patient, and you can always start over. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a mistake. So now I made a mistake, and that's fine. As you can see, it's a blue, it's selected blue. I could just press delete and go back and click on it again and continue. Okay, that's totally okay. Many roads to Rome. Now, I'm going to zoom out because my guitar is pretty straight. And it doesn't have to be super perfect. Oh, that's a little too far, because I can see right now there's some gaps in there that I'm not okay with. That's not okay. So we're going to undo, go back. Oh, that's why. There's my, the beginning of the truss rod of the guitar neck. And you know what? We're just gonna go ahead and stay. That's a little, I'm seeing some imperfections there. I'm not happy with that. I'm gonna go back. See how I deleted that? I just go back and I continue. And I'm putting a lot of care in creating the outline around my guitar. And what's gonna happen is this is gonna turn into a shape. But as you're gonna find out, the shape can be turned into a selection, which is, when I went to multimedia school in 2000 in Amsterdam, it was called College of Multimedia. You can look it up. It's I think it's cmm.nl, and that was such an exciting time for me, where I was in a school with a bunch of Macs learning how to do this stuff. Actually, I went there with a lot of expertise already with Photoshop and multimedia, but it was awesome to go to a multimedia school where back in those days we did CD-ROMs. But yeah, so as you see, guys, we're just moving forward, and we're pretty much halfway the guitar now. And I love the pen tool for these kind of shapes. And that's another thing, when you're using an image editor, you have to kind of plan things and always make a calculation of, will I use this tool or that tool, and what's going to be faster and what's going to give me the best results within a certain time frame, which is always the job of us. You know, us designers or content creators, we're always juggling our investment versus the time. Because like a lot of clients of mine call me and tell me, Bruce, you could do this in 5 minutes. Well, it depends. I have to see the file first and what needs to happen. And a lot of times the work that we have to do is work like this. Okay, here we go. See, there we have a little issue. I overextended this handle. So let's go to this handle, and guys, we have to, you see, when I press the command, it changes, and I can just adjust that aspect of it. Okay, so get your hands dirty with the pen tool. And I don't want to spend a lot of time with it, but look at what I'm doing and copy me. Okay, but you can, I highly suggest you spend time. If this does not go well the first time, just try again. Because every single point that you see, every circle can be clicked on and adjusted. And you have to remember that pressing Command and Shift will change properties. And just make mistakes and it'll be just fine. It'll be okay. So this is the toughest part actually of this project. And I'm just giving it a lot of care. Just giving it a lot of care. We keep going. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking and drawing, checking my lines, and now I see our mistake. I press on my arrow tool, push it a little bit backward. You click and drag, click and drag. And remember, becoming an image editor is a two-handed thing. My left hand is always on the space bar. And you know what? That's why for a long time, Apple users, or the industry of desktop publishing, loved Macs because it's just ergonomically closer to what we're doing. So the command button is just close to the space bar, and it's just handier. You don't have to do hand acrobatics, I guess, to create keyboard combinations. Listen to me ramble while we're working so diligently to do this right. But it's going to pay off, guys. It's going to definitely pay off. See, here we go. I have another issue. Made a small mistake. And just pixel adjust, pixel adjust. See, and now we're getting to the cheese, guys. We're getting there. It's happening. That doesn't look perfect. And another thing I want to talk about while we're doing this work, usually I'm doing this with some kind of instrumental music in the back or a podcast, is, guys, just perfection cannot be achieved ever. Only the perception of the image that is okay for you. Okay, so we have to be satisfied with our work, and we're always going to be self-critical. But if you're going to step into the realm of design, being a perfectionist can actually work against you, in my opinion. It's important to hold a standard, which is not the same. And that's why you're here. You're here to practice and get better. I'm trying to get better every day, and I'm going to try and get better until I can't no more by not being here anymore, you know? That's what I love about the arts, the honesty of it. Okay. Oh, You see, I'm not happy with this because it's just sloppy. And that's not perfection, that's just upholding standards. Ooh, yes, come on. Yes. Okay, I made a mistake there, and now I'm pressing my command so I can hold that handle and adjust it to my liking and start back. Yes, I'm okay with that. Oopsie, double click mistake. Okay, here comes a little extra detail. That's my strap knot, strap something. Guys, what do you call this thing? Strap holder, strap knot, strap knob. I don't know. It's that thing that we put our straps on. I usually have the clippy things back in the days that I used to play live. Now I just spend time recording at home and sharing it with my my channel viewers. And if you haven't noticed, this used to be I used to put a lot of guitar tutorials, and I'm not stopping with that. It's just that I've decided to add what I really love doing is image editing, content creation, designing. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. Oh, we're on the 11-minute mark. I'm so sorry, guys. As you're watching this, you can go ahead and skip if you need to. Okay, but what's important is that we take very good care. And I will be putting, time markers. Okay, I remember that we got there. So, all right, guys, look. Something happened, but it's okay. If you can see here, we've got 3 curves. I don't know what happened here, but they're all there. I'm going to click on all of them. Excuse me. Coffee of the morning. There it is. I clicked on my pen tool, clicked on all my curves, and I'm going to join them right here. Smart mode. Excuse me, here we go. Smooth curve, no. Where is it? Smooth, no. Rubber band mode. Add new curve. I'm sorry, guys. I'm also learning about Affinity Photo as we go. We have here join curves. And there you have it. So these are our curves. And with my pen tool selected, I'm going to give it a fill. And I'll show you why. Okay. So now on our layer, we have a curve and a background. What I'm going to do is I'm going to command click on the icon right there. In Apple, it's command, it's probably control on the PC. And if you notice, now I have a selection happening around my guitar. So what we need is to have some kind of selection tool selected. I'm going to use my rectangular marquee. And here on the top, there's a quick mask mode. In quick mask mode, I can kind of see what my selection is doing with the guitar, and that's looking pretty amazing without doing much. And I have a feather. Feather is sort of a blurring of the edges, which is important for it to look more, let's call it more believable and anti-aliasing. And you know what? I don't have to do anything with it. I think it's perfect. So with my background selected, I'm going to go ahead and copy paste. And guys, look at my beautiful, awesome, totally usable as a graphic from now on Stratocaster. So go ahead and save it, guys. I'm going to save it again. Let's separate my guitar. Separated Strat. I hope you got to learn something. This was a little more intense, I guess, but that's one of the most powerful things of an image editor like Affinity Photo, is that we can do great separations if you plan it right. I also, that's how I took that picture. So if you just look at the picture, I centered my lens to the middle to keep my proportions as real as possible. Okay, so I'll see you in the next lesson.